Lecture, I would like to give an introduction on Fourier series. First of all, Fourier series has a wide range of applications, especially to solve differential equations. Secondly, in engineering field, we usually come across the word periodic functions. This term is often used, but sometimes these periodic functions are complicated. So what do? This periodic function is being represented in terms of simple terms or simple periodic functions, say terms of sines and cosines. Okay. Now this development of a given periodic function into a series of sines and cosines was effected by the French physicist and mathematician who is called Joseph Fourier. So he was a mathematician who just developed a given periodic function in terms of sine to a series of sines and cosines. So this series is known after him. And another important thing to note is that not just periodic functions, Fourier series is also used to represent or approximate functions in a finite interval. Okay, so there are these things that has to be noted. First of all, it is used to solve differential equations. Secondly, any complicated periodic function can be represented in terms of sines and cosines. Thirdly, it is not just periodic functions. Fourier series can also be used to represent functions or represent and approximate functions defined in a finite interval. Now, let us see what is a periodic function. Okay. A function f is said to be periodic with period t which is greater than 0 if this condition is satisfied. What is the condition? F of x plus t is equal to f of x. This condition must be true provided this t is the smallest value of t. For example, if I take sin x is periodic with 2 pi. At the same time, this is also true. But the period of sin x is taken to be the smallest value of t for which this condition is satisfied. So 2 pi is the period of sin x. Similarly for cos x also. Now there are certain things which has to be noted. The sum, difference, product and quotient of two periodic function is also a periodic function. So suppose if we consider this, say f of x is equal to sin x plus sin 2x plus cos 3x. Then if it is for us to obtain the period of this given function, the sum of all these terms sin x plus sin 2x plus sin cos 3x, we need to find the common period of these three functions. For example, for sin x it will be 2 pi, the period is 2 pi. For sin 2x it is say 2 pi by 2 or pi, and here it is 2 pi by 3. So the common period here is 2 pi. So this function f of x is periodic with period 2 pi. And similarly, if I have say f of x is equal to cos pi x by L plus cos 2 pi x by L plus say sin pi x by L. Here if you see the common period here will be t is equal to 2L. You can just check this out. Now consider the summation of the series. Look into this summation. Sn of x is equal to, the nth sum is equal to a naught plus, this is the summation of the terms we have taken. Here again the common period will be t is equal to 2L. These things has to be noted for us to know or define a Fourier series. There is yet another property which we have to know before we move on to the definition of Fourier series, which is called the orthogonal property of trigonometric functions. Now consider any two functions, say phi of x and psi of x. These two functions are said to be orthogonal on the interval a comma b if the following property holds, that is integral a to b phi of x, the product of these two functions dx is equal to 0. Now just consider this, the interval here is minus pi to pi. The trigonometric system, the basic trigonometric system consists of So what is the basic trigonometric system concept? 1 cos x, sin x, cos 2x, sin 2x, and it goes on. So we just take the these two functions, these two members of the trigonometric system. So we have a 1 into cos kx dx is equal to 0. Here k is not equal to 0. So this you can just check. This condition is true. Similarly, when you take integral minus pi to pi 1 into sine kx, where k is not equal to 0, we end up with this result. Okay, and there are certain other results. When we take two functions of cosines, cosine kx and cosine nx, it is equal to 0 if k is not equal to n, and it is equal to pi if k is equal to n. This result also you can just note this, we will be using it later. Similarly, integral minus pi to pi sin nx sin kx dx is equal to 0 if k is not equal to n, and it's equal to pi if k is equal to n. So this result has to be made a note of. And then the last one, when you take do different members, say sin nx and cos kx dx, this is equal to 0 no matter what is the value of n and k. So these results we will just have in mind before we derive or define the Fourier series. The next definition is on piecewise continuous function. A function which is continuous everywhere except for a finite number of jumps in the given interval is called a piecewise continuous function. So it states very clearly that it is continuous everywhere except at a finite number of jumps, except at a finite number of points, the discontinuous points. Okay, to visualize this, we will have two examples where it can be seen like how a function is not piecewise continuous and how a function is piecewise continuous. Consider this piecewise continuous function, which is defined this way. F of x is equal to 3 for x is equal to minus pi. So you can visualize this. F of x is equal to 3 for x is equal to minus pi. Then you can see the blue curve, that is the f of x is equal to x square for minus pi less than x less than 1. And then the red curve, which is for 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. And then you have f of x is equal to 2 from 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to pi. You can see that there are jumps in this function. For example, if you see here, there is a jump. Consider this function f of x is equal to 0 at x is equal to 0 and x to the power minus n, where x belongs to this interval 0, 1, where it is half closed and half open with n greater than 0. As x tends to 0, here 1 by x to the power n tends to infinity. So we can see that the right hand limit is infinite. It's not finite. It can also be visualized easily. So you can see the function here. At x is equal to 0, it is f of x is 0 here. You can see here. Okay, so this is the jump here. Whereas for this curve, 1 by x to the power n, you can see that as I move, it keeps on going. It is not bounded. The right hand limit is infinite. Therefore, it is not a piecewise continuous function. Now, let us consider a function which is piecewise continuous on the interval minus pi comma pi. And and has the following trigonometric series expansion. F of x is a naught by 2 plus summation k running from 1 to infinity a k cos kx plus b k sin kx. Now here, if I integrate minus pi to pi f of x dx on both sides, then this would be minus pi to pi a naught by 2 dx plus summation k running from 1 to infinity a k integral minus pi to pi cos kx dx plus bk integral minus pi to pi sin kx dx. So this is how it is. Now, okay, this summation is for both. Okay, both these terms. Now here, if you see on the RHS, minus pi to pi a naught by in integral minus pi to pi a naught by 2 dx. So if I integrate this, this will be just a naught by, you can just check this. Whereas these terms will become 0. We have seen it already by the orthogonality property. So here the only thing which will be left with is minus pi to pi f of x dx, and that is equal to a naught pi. In other words, I can say a naught is nothing but 1 by pi integral minus pi to pi f of x dx. So this is how we define a naught. Okay. Now let us to the same equation. If I to this equation, if I just multiply cos nx on both sides, then it will be minus pi to pi f of x cos nx dx. So this will be equal to minus pi to pi a naught by 2 cos nx dx, and this will be summation k running from 1 to infinity a k minus pi to pi. So here it will be cos kx dx. Sorry. So here it will be cos kx and cos nx dx plus bk minus pi to pi cos nx sin kx dx. Now we have seen the orthogonality property. So here what will happen, the first term here, that is this term, this will become 0. Okay, by the property, this will be 0. And when k is equal to n, okay, and when k is equal to n, this term, we can see this term will be just an into pi. You can look at those results. Okay, this will become an into pi. And here, when there are two different members of the trigonometric system, we have cos term and sin term coming here. And no matter whatever is the value of k and n, this will be 0. So all the terms will vanish except for this term, that is ak integral minus pi to pi cos kx cos nx dx. Here when k is equal to n, I will get the value as an into pi. So now we will have integral minus pi to pi f of x cos nx dx is equal to an pi. In other words, an will be 1 by pi integral minus pi to pi f of x cos nx dx. So this is how it is. Okay. Similarly, to the same equation, this pink color equation, you can see here. This equation, first we just integrated with respect to minus pi to pi. In the interval minus pi to pi with respect to x, we found the value of a naught. Then we just multiplied cos nx on both sides and we found the value of an. Similarly, if I multiply with sin nx to the same equation, I will get the value of bn to be 1 by pi integral minus pi to pi f of x sin nx dx. So this is the value of bn. Okay, so now we know what is A naught, what is AN, and what is BN. Suppose if they ask you to find the Fourier series for a given function, say f of x is equal to x in the interval, say minus pi comma pi, then we can say the Fourier expansion of this can be written as f of x is equal to a naught by pi 2 plus summation n is equal to 1 to infinity a n cos nx plus summation n running from 1 to infinity bn sin nx. This is the usual expansion which we saw now, where a naught, an, and bn can be obtained from this formula. We just find a naught, an, and bn when substituted here to obtain the Fourier series. Of course, there are certain conditions which are applicable, which we will see later. So now, a function f of x, which is defined in an interval, say c less than or equal to x less than or equal to c plus 2 pi, this function can be expanded as a Fourier series of the form a naught by 2 plus summation n running from 1 to infinity an cos nx plus bn sin nx. Okay, provided the Dirichlet's conditions hold. Now, what are these Dirichlet's conditions? The first condition is that f of x should be a single valued function in the given interval, okay, and it should be finite. Secondly, the function should be continuous or piecewise continuous with finite number of discontinuities. We have seen what it is earlier. Thirdly, the given function f of x should have finite number of maxima or minima. So that's what the Dirichlet's conditions suggest. These three should be there for a function f of x to be expanded as a Fourier series. These conditions are not necessary but only sufficient for the existence of Fourier series.